think we should be back now. I'm not sure why the internet just gave up like that. Alright. I think we're back now. It's showing 2,000 kilobits per second, so that's good. But I think the one person who's here probably left now, which is sad. It's tragic. I can't believe it. My phone screwed me over, or the internet signal screwed me over, or the internet signal or something. I gotta update my plan or something. I don't know. Oh no, don't do it to me. Not like this. God, it's just not consistent enough to be... This is just not consistent enough. The fact that it keeps just dropping, not great. It just keeps on dropping, man. Oh, we're back. Peak streaming. Yeah, we're back, Safari. We're back. I suppose, for now, until my phone dies again. Let's wait and see. Let's wait and see that this works consistently, and then if it does, we'll keep working. Let's wait and see that this works consistently, and then if it does, we'll keep working. It sucks. It's like right when I'm about to get into actually explaining stuff or getting into the meat and potatoes, it kind of just dips. So I'm not sure explain certain things or if we're good to keep going. Kind of sucks. Hope you're doing alright though, Safari. It's always good to see you. Always good to see you. In fact, let me just not do the infinite void. And let's just go here to restream. Yup. Oi, mate. Yup, I see your message now. I guess you missed it. Okay. We're back though. We're live. And it doesn't seem to be dead yet, so I'm assuming that we're good. Though it kind of sucks that... this is, YouTube creates a new stream when you lose connection or reconnect. That sucks. Alright, anyways. I believe I promised you some engine work, and we're explaining how we're going to try tackling this problem of just inconsistent wait times per frame. So, I guess we're just going to try... I could try re-explaining stuff. I could always just go in and just say screw it and start implementing it. I think I might just start implementing it, honestly. Screw it. If I can't get a good consistent stream today, I might as well have some implemented code today. You know what I'm saying? That sounds like a good trade-off for me. That sounds like a good deal to me. And who knows, maybe we might not even have that. Maybe we might not even have that. So, 1 second. Let's just get into it. So, instead of doing this whole waiting directly for wait time, I think what we can do instead is have like a long elapsed time. Initialize it to 0 just to be safe. Wait for this. This is going to produce, and then instead of waiting for wait time micro, in fact, we're going to convert this into a while statement. Played a little bit dangerous. So while elapsed time is less than Then wait time. We are going to try sleeping for a small increment of second. Long increment. Wait. Honestly, we can even just like, maybe instead of using sleep, we can just directly just have our own increment timer and just do that in the burn code. But, yeah, let's do chrono, duration, or actually milliseconds, 1 or 2. And then, this does not produce it produces R time. The alias duration int. Okay, yeah. Oh, we're just gonna do auto. And then wait time and macro is what? Long. Yeah, we're gonna produce this long as well. Actually, for scheduling, we need to probably keep it as a yeah, so no, we're gonna keep it auto. We're gonna wait for increment and wait. So sleep for that amount. Then we have the entire elapsed wait time. And then, in fact, we're gonna move this out here. In fact, we're gonna move these guys out here, and we're gonna have this happen outside of this while loop for gauging how the whole while loop performs. And then maybe if we want to be fancy, we can create some cool heuristics. We can create some cool analytics to be like, hey, how accurate was this? Oh, why am I not seeing any of your messages, dude? Peak stream, the outdoorsman. I'm trying to be an outdoorsman. Imagine going outside. Scary thought, right? Coding outside, where people are, where grass is. Terrifying. I should probably download Restream. I'm so used to having a second monitor, guys, and my phone, for whatever reason, isn't updating consistently, so... Yeah, like, I'm on the YouTube chat, and it's not accurate. It's not accurate as much as I'd want it to be. So, sorry if we're not, if I'm not super consistent with chat. My bad, guys. Alright, anyways. So, now we sleep for this increment wait instead, and we keep doing that. Oh, but we need to keep track of the amount of time that actually elapsed. So, we're going to copy this guy here. Put this code there. Rename this so we don't override the parent value, even though... Whatever. Delay start. Again, delay end. Goes now, and then we do the duration cast, chrono to microseconds. We use a different value for these guys. And then we do elapsed time plus equals, yep, micro.count, yep, beautiful. And then now we should hopefully have a good implementation that's actually going to be, I mean, let's see, we're going to find out. This is going to tell us and indicate to us whether or not our wait is actually waiting for the correct number of microseconds, roughly, so that at least we can be closer towards having 60 frames per second. Because right now we have like an order of magnitude of difference where we're actually dipping down to 30 frames per second, and that's crazy. Where I might be wanting to wait like 12,000 microseconds, but we actually end up waiting 20,000 microseconds. Oh, brother, what did we just do? What did we just do? It's not even, okay, so we did something terribly wrong, apparently. Did he print anything out, at least? Did it manage to do that? Yeah, please close program. Yes, yeah. Okay, so we've done something wrong here. I don't know how, but let's figure it out. Yeah, so it didn't even finish. It didn't even get to this part. Like, it got stuck in the while loop. If it would have gone through there, we would have had the intended wait. So it's clearly getting stuck here. What am I trying to do wrong here? We have micro. Did I not? You're long. And this is in microseconds. Our intended wait time in microseconds. We have elapsed time, which is also a long. Oh, this may be in a different unit. Like, this may be a long, but it's actually a normal. It's an actual microseconds, whereas count, I believe, is in a different unit. I think it's like time ticks or something. Or maybe I'm just dumb. Maybe I'm just wrong and dumb. Maybe that's all that's happening. The fear. Big fear. Always scared of going outside. I was at the beach all day too, man. It was a very outdoorsy day today. Nothing like programming to get rid of all that sociability you had. So, while wait time is greater than or equal to elapsed time, actually it's greater than. Actually it's greater than. Oh, not OBS. Disconnecting. Don't do this to me. Okay, we're back. We're back. I was scared. Yeah, I should look into other options for getting better, more consistent internet on the go if I'm gonna be out like this. Or maybe a thing to. It'd be cool to have a thing for eliminating a lot of the wind noise too. Because apparently this is not good enough. And it seems like I'm going to be in very windy situations. So, I mean, we're going to listen back through the recordings and we're going to see how bad it is. Yeah, it's pretty nice. It's actually not that bad. I just want to have more stable internet connection. And then hopefully a better mic. This is a pretty cheap lavalier mic. But, I don't know. I might invest more in it. If I'm going to be like... Because this is a test for Puerto Rico, right? So, yeah, maybe now's the time to try to make things nicer, you know? And then hopefully I have to remember that when the camera clicks like that, I need to turn it back on. Because, of course, for tax purposes, they instituted that dumb firmware restriction, which for some reason I couldn't bypass. We'll figure it out. And I found the issue. I found the issue behind our stuck time. And our stuck time. And that's the fact that we did delay end minus delay end. When in reality, it's supposed to be delay end minus delay start. So there we go. That fact that we did delay end minus delay end. When in reality, it's supposed to be delay end minus delay start. So there we go. That's probably why our application hung for as long as it did. And please don't do this to me, internet. Don't do this to me. I don't know why the video stopped. I probably should download the video that does. We'll do that later. Also, I just heard something wild. Okay, build finish. It's running. Internet's still good, OBS. Don't. Dipping. 2,000 something kilobits per second. Don't scare me. I think we're good. Okay, cool, we're good. Okay. Okay, so this is running now. It doesn't seem as... Oh my goodness, dude. I'm gonna have to download this video offline. Brother, what? This should have been cached already. whatever. So now let's verify to see if this is any better, because it kind of feels the same in all honesty. Kind of feels the same. There's still, I mean, the juddery doesn't feel as bad, but it still feels kind of scuffed. So let's verify this. And in fact, maybe we should make it like heuristic, like yep, and it's pretty inconsistent. It's like 40 frames per second, 24 frames per second, 32 frames per second, 32 frames per second. Actual weight versus actual. I mean, it's better than before, I think. Like, it's still over, but it's not as... It's kind of bad, actually, still. We're still in the 30 frames per second range, which it's terrible. That's absolutely unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. So, clearly something's going wrong. Clearly I'm crazy for wanting my application to execute correctly. Dipping. We dipping? The fear for an outdoor, yeah. Are you dipping from the stream? If so, hope you have a good one, Terrell. And you know, I'm going to be on tonight too, so we can still call and do our thing. I'm not going to be here too long. Probably because battery. But, this is very odd. This is very odd, dude. This is very, very weird how this is behaving. Let's try sampling a little bit. If this keeps behaving like that, then what I might do instead is, instead of using sleeping, we manually like iterate and check to see like how long until a certain amount of time has passed. Like, just max out redundant computations to delay it for until it's done. Just try a smaller increment. Maybe that's the key here. Maybe I'm not going small enough. Maybe I can go faster than 1 millisecond. Where's the increment? I did 2 milliseconds too. Weak sauce. Let's try 1. Maybe that was the problem. Bio. Let's go, Mr. Computer. All right. Press play. Okay. Still look kind of janky, man. Versus our Delta Time implementation, this is still kind of jank. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. Let's see what we have going on here. And I'm not liking what I'm seeing. Like 35 frames per second. Large discrepancy still. We're seeing like 35 frames per second. Large discrepancy. Our intended wait time. I know it's a minimum, but still. I'm kind of hoping that a certain level of speed might actually improve things. Okay, let's do like 50 microseconds or something. Let's go crazy. Let's see if this can handle this kind of level of precision. Maybe I just need to believe more in the PC. Maybe I need to believe more in the operating system to be able to synchronize good wait time at smaller granularity. Let's wait for the compile. I love how crazy. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What is this? Is terrible. This is even smaller. This is so slow-mo. Okay, what is actually going on here? So we waited for what? Intended wait is 45,000. Okay, so we went super slow, too slow. I was playing God of War and he just asked me what R3 was. Oh my goodness. The classic problem, the classic learning curve all kids have to go through at some point in their lives. Truly. That is a growing moment for your father. I'm happy you were able to be there as a supportive son. This is terrible. This kind of makes you just appreciate. It makes you appreciate how we take a lot of this functionality for granted. I'm kind of mad because my Delta Time implementation kind of worked, but it actually didn't. I might have to revisit it. I might have to give it a revisit. Yeah, I know. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. We were operating at literally 1.09 frames per second. That's insane. Meanwhile, the update cycle takes like 912 milliseconds. Which, you know, I don't know how to feel about that, but that's the one thing. Brother. Okay. We're gonna do something else then. We're not gonna do sleep. We're not gonna rely on sleeping to achieve our end means. We're gonna have to go through this a way different way. Which is, I don't know. I don't even know. I guess we just get rid of this guy here. I guess what we do is just get rid of this and just do it at every single frame. Construct this delayed start now. We probably like at least allocate it once. I don't know. And just do that instead. Don't let it sleep. We just actually just hard calc it, dude. It might be so small though because there's no operation in between there. Oh, brother, that's rough. That's rough. That's rough. Okay, maybe we do something more in here or something. No one will see me type poop in here. Well, I saw it, buddy. You thought you're slick, but you're not slick. I saw it. I've been watching from the YouTube side. Twitch side keeps cutting me off. Yeah, dude, I don't know why. YouTube is just better. YouTube is really whacking Twitch at the stream game. I'm kind of happy I switched to use Restream. It's more convenient when you just have one platform that you can stream to and people can catch you on. Yeah, real talk, man. Real talk. I don't know what we gotta do here. Something stupid. Something really dumb. There's gotta be something better than this out there. There's gotta be something better than this, what I'm about to do. I just don't know, though. I just don't know. I'm just curious to see if this would work. As disgusting as this may be. They forced my hand and have to implement disgusting code. I didn't want to do this. They made me do this. A bunch of dumb iterations that do nothing. I don't even know. We just leave like that, I guess. I hope the compiler doesn't optimize this out and go like, hey, this does nothing, so we're gonna get rid of it. Really hope it doesn't do that. But you never know. And the camera went out. We just leave like that, I guess. I hope the compiler and go like, hey, this does nothing, so we're gonna get rid of it. And the camera went. Scatter PowerPoint gaming. That's what we're trying to avoid. We're stuck in PowerPoint gaming. We left Delta time to go into for a promised land, and yet we find ourselves in PowerPoint gaming. It's kind of like the Gray Land from yesterday. And that really just, triggered me a little bit. Oh my goodness, that actually works so much better. Dude. Buddy. Do you see what we got going on here? This actually feels correct. This actually feels correct. Are you kidding me? Just doing stupid for loops is what fixed the problem? Is this where we're at right now? No thread waits. We instead rely on dumb for loops to be able to make sure our time waiting is accurate. Alright, let's see what the error looks like. I mean, there's still error. Like we're supposed, in this case, this frame we're supposed to be waiting for 15,000 microseconds, but we actually wait for 16,000. That's not a crazy error. That's still much better than where we're at before. 40 frames per second, 50 frames per second, 46 frames per second, 51 frames per second, 51 frames per second, 48 seconds. I wonder if we can have better accuracy if we reduce. I mean, that's what should theoretically happen. If we reduce the number of iterations we do in the for loop, it should, in principle, improve the accuracy of our weights, because there's no over-under that happens, where it's like if you're slightly over or under this, it's going to do another 1,000 iterations before. Oh my goodness. Okay, we're not doing that then. Yeah, and then now we're back to PowerPoint gaming, 19 frames per second. So no, we actually need that extra decimal, that extra digit, which is not great, because I'm imagining the faster your CPU goes, the more this may become not good. I feel like there has to be a better implementation than this. Like, there's got to be a thing. I just don't know what it is. Maybe I have to look to like per operating system documentation to see how to make weighting actually accurate again. But bumping it back to 1,000. And we're only going to know if this works properly when I go home and open up my Linux machine and actually pull this changes, compile it there, and run it. That's the only way we're going to know if it actually works correctly. This feels super good, though. This actually feels pretty dang good, man. Look at that. Look at this guy go. Bam, bam, bam. I mean, that ground collision isn't great. That's not very good, but hey. Baby steps, right? Baby steps. Little baby steps. This actually feels like a game now. It actually feels like a game. Okay, so we're gonna do something here. We're gonna go to git bash. Hopefully my internet should handle it. We're gonna go to code. I think engine. We're gonna git status, git add all, git commit, and then we're gonna say made fixed updates great again. Not buys, fixed updates great again. Gonna push that sucker to the repository. And then now I can go on my home machine and we can text out to make sure it's updates great again. Gonna push that sucker to the repository. And then now I can go on my home machine and we can text out to make sure it worked like intended. Yep, beautiful. It's been committed and pushed. You better be back here. We're reconnected. Good. Sorry, we dipped there a little bit. We're back though. We're back. Blast processing, yes sir. Sea Lion, why are you angry? I have all the correct things in order. I've added the correct stuff. We've done everything according, but for some reason this is saying that it's angry and it's not happy. I don't know why. I marked this as a source folder. Let's not do that. If not this, then let me try one last thing. I'm gonna try making the collision better. I think that's what we're gonna do before I head out today, and review the stream to see how bad or good this park streaming is. It's a very nice environment, man. It's actually very peaceful. I think every Saturday I might come out to a random place and do this. Okay. We are at local history. No, where is the directory thing? Or you can change what a directory is recognized as. It should be like mark, I think, or inspect code, nope, diagrams, mark directory as unmarked. And that should go away, I think. Yep, there we go. Fixed. Problem fixed. Let's go. That's what we're talking about. Okay, so what are we going to do beyond just making sure this works? I have to change the edit mode too, because if you notice right now in the edit mode of this application, Buddy's animation is going crazy fast. And it's because we haven't done this whole delta time rework, refactor over here. So the animations are just kind of bad and incorrect. Actually, no, the animations aren't the problem. It's actually the engine, the editor code that's the problem here, but whatever. It's oh my goodness, this is small. Okay, so this editor doesn't work great on really small window or really large resolutions. But you'll fix this. Is it the 2D engine? Yes, it is. It is the 2D engine of my creation that is beautiful because it's meant for me, so I can design and place things down exactly the way I want to, using only my keyboard. So everything I'm doing here, I'm using just my fingies right here, my little fingies. I'm using Vim motions to kind of do this. And it's beautiful. It's exactly how I want things to operate. So I can place things down. I can even switch to other types of assets with this thing here, and I can move it around, and we can bring it up here, and I can place things down like so, and draw whatever. There's undo, redo, and then I can press play, and then all of a sudden, voila, we're in the game. We're in the game world. We're doing game things. I designed a level. We can save it if we need to. I need to add saving, but that's a thing that's pretty easy to do. But now we're trying to tackle different problems. So the problem we're tackling today was making this work consistently across different machines for a number of different reasons, and trying to get fixed updates to work correctly. And now I want to do some minor fixing things. So I think one thing I want to do is try to fix this weird thing that's happening where it's like right before colliding the player kind of stops, and then there's some places where he kind of stutters. Like it's like he hits something invisible. So I don't know. Maybe we'll try doing some but there's the real thing I want to try tackling that's pretty easy to do is just, you see how he's stuck in the wall? In this instance, the player, even though the velocity is entering the wall, it should negate the X component of that vector and instead use the Y component to do the update. So that no matter if your velocity vector is going into the wall, it negates the part that collides and it just uses the Y, so he slides down. We need to have that. So I think it's gonna be pretty straightforward. It's pretty simple. I did a better version of this before, and I think it's gonna be even better once I have raycasting implemented. But we're not gonna do a collision rework today because I want to try implementing some. I'm thinking through the different types of data structure we want to use for collision, and when I make a decision about it, we could talk about it. But I think we're going to do some glue snipping tactics today. We're going to do some super simple, easy implementations for this. I think that's what we're going to do. And the easiest thing is to go to player. And we have a simple if-else conditional, right? We have this little thing in the update method down here. And it just goes as this. If the point, if where the player is going to be collides with something, we just don't collide. You say your velocity is 0. Otherwise, we use the velocity and update the position with that velocity vector. So this is going to be the area here where we do some additional if-elsing to make things, my peak's a box. 1 second. I don't want to litter. I don't want to litter. 1 second, guys. Be right back. Be right back. Get the mic out. We are responsible people, park attendants. We are responsible park attendants. We never litter. You built a game engine? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. At least trying to. It's one of the many side projects I have. My main project is Messy Mansion, but this is a nice kind of relaxing game project I get to work on because I get to be free of design decisions people make. But anyways, so super simple logic here, right? So we're going to test to see if there's a collision where the player is, or the player is going to be. We're going to instead grab that velocity vector and check to see if there's a collision down south. And if there is no collision, we're just going to use that y velocity. And if not, then, keep going. So we're going to make a float 2 called y component. Decided to adjust velocity. Yep, exactly, Jack boy. That's exactly what happened. See, guys, that's velocity. That's real time. That's update. Component. Decided to adjust velocity. Yep, exactly, Jack boy. That's exactly what happened. See, guys, that's called... No! Alright, we're back? Are we back? I think we're back. We're kind of back. Back for 1 second. Okay, I think we're back, maybe? Maybe we're back? Oh no, is this putting me on timeout? Come on, internet, don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. You can't do this to me, man. Okay. Back to 2,000 kilobits per second. Back to 2,000 kilobits per second. Okay, we're back. We're good. We good, I think. Alright, I think we're good. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're living like Larry. Hopefully the internet stays good. Get back green. No, you're not, Impala. You're not. No, you are not. I'm gonna make sure this message gets out. Alright, let's go. We're back up. We're back up. Impala, you're not useless. C# takes a while. Like, keep in mind, dude, 10 years of my life is just in GameMaker GML land, okay? C# scared me. Type scared me. The concept of, like, classes and structs, all that stuff is scary. But, it's all about little things. Some pushes here, In my case, I got a job that was... Two times I got jobs I was underqualified for, and we just had to learn like crazy. But it's possible, and anyone can overcome it. I believe you can as well. If only with the right guidance or the right opportunities or time to marmalade and really get in there and figure something out. And maybe we'll do some more streams talking about C# Unity stuff. Like last time we talked about the whole job system and whatnot, but maybe we go simpler. Maybe we talk about, you know, things like, what was it? Principles of reusable object-oriented programming. That's a good book. A lot of cool ideas in that book. I don't know, maybe we'll do that. If you guys have anything that you want me to cover, or just general topics like, I don't know, computer logic or whatever, or how to break down game mechanics into like, I don't know, that's very broad. I don't know, we'll do something. Maybe I'll just do a simple game or something, or break down some of the code from my game, whatever. Anyways, going back to this though. We check to see the same logic here. If there's no collision here, but instead of using this final position, we're going to take another float. And this is kind of garbo, but it's okay. We're going to make it pretty later. Excuse me. Sometimes you have to just make something exist first, and then you can make it good later. That's a good lesson to have in life. And then we're going to have Y position. So now we're checking to see if there a collision. If there's no collision down below the character object, the player object, if there's no collision here, then we use a velocity vector of just Y to do that. So now instead, if point is free, or if it's not free here, then we do a velocity here. If not, we use a new velocity. We use this Y offset thing. Also, if there's any locations, man, I'm gonna be going to different beaches and parks and whatnot in the coming weeks. But I'm always open to try out some other weird locations. All right. Anyways, we're gonna use, instead of the final position, we're gonna use Y position. And then we're going to compile and see if it works first time, and if not, skill issue, right? Good meme, good meme, good meme. And let me just check comments, make sure I didn't miss anything. Yeah, we're good. Let's see, either we are geniuses or we're the biggest glue sniffers ever. Okay. Hey, and there we go. So now, even though I have the velocity into the wall, we still slide down. Is that not beautiful? Is that not beautiful, guys? And I could jump up, I can miss it and still go over. Beautiful. Super duper simple. Now there's still a little jank with the collision detection. That's fine. Make it first, then make it later. Yup. That's a big thing, man. A lot of times in like software engineering, it's just important just to get the thing going sometimes. Make it first, then make it later. Yup. That's a big thing, man. A lot of times in like software engineering, it's just important just to get the thing going sometimes. Like there's certain problems. So there's like two ways of approaching problems, right? And there's a top-down solution where you start from the high-level ideas and then go down. There's the bottom-up approach where you actually start and then start building up the complex. Those things. Sometimes you just know that the thing you're working with is going to be super complex. So you start by delegating responsibilities and breaking the problem up into smaller problems that can be assigned to other people or can be attacked in isolation. But there's other times where it's just, you just need to implement and prototype something roughly just to get a sense of what the problem is and how to tackle it. And then either you have some progress and you actually can start making a final product with that, or it's actually not good enough, but you learn something by iterating and programming it that way, and then you try reprogramming again, but now with new knowledge about how to tackle the problem. Each with their own different pros and cons. And you start getting, like, the more you program, the more you're going to start seeing the correct places to do these different types of things. Yeah, there's a weird little stutter that happens here I don't like. But yeah, the more you program, the more you're going to start having this kind of insights and intuition for how to do these different types of things and when to do these types of things, It's kind of... Okay, we reconnected. Okay, I think we're back. I think we're back. I think we're back. I think we're back. I think we're back to streaming. I mean, we have like triple digit kilobits per second. That's not great. Okay, we're back to thousands, 3,000. Okay. 1,000 kilobits per second. Anyways. Reconnected. If it disconnects again, I'm probably going to call it. If this does not come back to green, okay, it's back to green. Okay, if it disconnects again, we might have to... Alright. Okay, if it disconnects again, we might have to... Oh, not like this. Not like this, man. It's like going up and down, man. It's kind of crazy. It's very inconsistent. We're green. We're green right now. And back to 0. Jeez. That's tragic. That's honestly a travesty. T-Mobile, why would you do this to me? T-Mobile, why would you do this to me? Alright, while I can, I'm just going to commit what we have. Because I think we made significant progress. Stop and... No, we're just going to stop it right now. We're still green. Okay, so I guess we're good. Would you say this engine approach is a more preferable approach to you than ECS? 100%. 100%. 100. In fact, I'm going to type this out. I'm going to type this out so a message comes across. But yes, 100%. Because ECS, and it's the same engine, which is general purpose engines in general, right? So think about it this way. A game engine, a commercial game engine's intention is to be available and to appeal to the large majority of people possible, right? That's the goal of ECS, or of a just general engine, which means that you're not going to design or UX your engine to work specifically for a person's specific needs, right? For example, me, I like using Vim, so I like using my keyboard to do all my navigation through the engine, right? But that's kind of a niche thing. Unity is not going to do that. Unreal Engine is not going to do that, right? So the engine is going to compromise having peak usability for certain power users to instead appeal to the large majority of people, right? Now, this is just a general UX thing, but the same applies when it comes to implementation. If you know what you're implementing, what your game is going to be, there's a lot of features of Unreal or Unity or Godot that are just not going to apply to what you're doing. So you end up having this complex system called the ECS that's meant to account for that. It's meant to allow the most different types of structures to exist within your game. The thing is, though, like, that just adds way more complexity. Whereas for me, if I know what my game is going to be and what's going to need, I don't need an ECS. I can just do the thing, you know? A player can be a player, an enemy can be an enemy. If there is some kind of overlapping logic that needs to happen between them, you can just have either static utility functions, or if you really want to have some kind of data associated with it, sure, you can make a struct or a class and have that embedded. But it's very different, right? It's part of the class definition. So, like, as far as the complexity you have to manage as a person, it's way better than the ECS, right? In terms of performance, it's also better because when you're using these systems, they don't leverage a lot of things, like, for example, cache coherency, or having, like optimizing for cache utilization and whatnot, right? But for me, like for my game, I know what needs to exist in it. So instead of having to do all the stuff on the heap and whatnot, like the game right now is largely on the stack. Most of it's on the stack because I know exactly what the game needs. I know how many tiles to expect for a level, so we can just allocate it all at once. You know? It's largely on the stack. Most of it's on the stack because I know exactly what the game needs. I know how many tiles to expect for a level, so we can just allocate it all at once. You know? And like treat everything, instead of using a pointer to access some object on the heap, you just use an index into an array. Like if you look at level state, all the different objects that exist in the level currently, it's a struct with a player, because that's all we ever need, and then an array of tiles, and then a bool that indicates if they're reserved or not, if they exist. And that's all you really need to do the things you want to do. And like all of a sudden you have a way smaller memory footprint. You have way less cache misses on your CPU. So your code for your program is way smaller, way more efficient, has way less fat, and it's also easier for you to understand. Whereas the ECS, you have a component, and you don't know if it has dependencies on other components. Maybe in Unity you can use like a required component of, and that indicates it, but that's a good day. Sometimes there's dependencies that you don't even know about. So like, so yeah, like in general, like at ECS, and it's like the same way at Conway's Law, right? Any abstractions is typically not something to be celebrated, but it's much more of a compromise that's made because we just cannot handle all the complexity for all the different possibilities that can happen. I would say I still 100% prefer ECS, but the performance between the two on this small Q scale isn't even noticeable. Oh yeah, I mean, and it's kind of interesting, like performance in general is not that crazy in this. Like, yes, my program is way smaller and way faster than if I wrote it on Unity. And I did that to compare the performance. But even though it's a significant performance difference, in general, an end user is probably not going to notice a difference at all, right? But, yeah, and this is like, I've worked with ECS for a fat minute in a bunch of different projects, right? But, yeah, I find myself not liking that. You can still have composition. The idea of composition isn't inherently a bad one. Like, you can introduce the concept of a rigid body and whatnot. It's just that these relationships between those components are fixed and known at compile time. Whereas with the ECS systems like in Unity or whatnot, you don't have that same guarantee. Because, you know, components can be added or removed at compile time, or, you know, sometimes they're built in one component and whatever. Like, there's complexity that's still introduced for it that makes things not as simple as it could be. And I'm not like, it's not necessarily dogging it. If your problem space is unknown and you don't know what kind of constraints your application is going to be used for, then yeah, if you need peak adaptability, an ECS system works perfectly. But yeah. But in general, if you know what you're doing, and you know what your game's going to be, it's nicer to just remove a lot of that fat and just work with what you have. No, it's not a green screen. This is an actual camera, baby. I'm actually in a real place. 1 second. My camera went out. Yeah, this is a real area. In general, if you... Alright, we're back. Hopefully it stays like this. But yeah, no. Unity's thing is odd. And I know they're trying to remedy that with the ECS docs, a data-oriented approach. And the job system is pretty fun to work with. It's pretty cool. I've used it a bunch for work and whatnot. And you can make like very optimized ECSs, and even make ECSs that are optimized for cache and whatnot. But even if we remove the performance implications, just the complexity that gets introduced, it's not... I work with it, it's fine. It's not going to end the world. It's just not my favorite. There's something I like about just having the thing that exists that represents a thing. Yeah, he's out there. Devin. Perfect timing for the camera to go out. Yeah, my bad. Yeah, it's actually perfect, yeah. I noticed it immediately. The world disliked that. Yup. touching the camera changes the Wi-Fi. But yeah, we're gonna see though, right? Because like right now, sorry, my voice cracked. Right now, with this game engine, we're still in the infancy of it, right? So there is like this thing that happens once you reach critical levels of complexity for whatever project we're working with, for like an actual release or whatnot, where all of a sudden the weight of all the systems you implemented start bearing down on it, and the limitations of what you can do become more, they rear their heads more. So that could be a pro and a con. For me, though, we're going to see as we get to a greater place of more maturity with this project and see how well does this architecture live up to what it wants to do. But I don't know, like even in Unity C# land, I still do a bunch of weird stuff. Like I know for Messy Mansion, the main game I'm working on right now, that one, I even wrote my own rendering or lighting system and pipeline for that. And another game I was working on for Unity, I basically rewrote my own collision system for fun. But yeah, didn't go out. The world did. I'm glad it's back. The world is back, baby. The world is back. But yeah, there's a lot of different considerations about that when it comes to this. The thing is that I'm blessed with the opportunity or the circumstance that this is for fun, not for a commercial release, not beholden to a publisher or something or release dates or whatever. So I have the time and freedom to implement things the way I want to for me, particularly. If I was developing this, working with other developers adjacent to me, then the way I'm going about things would be fundamentally different, right? I wouldn't develop an editor that's very Vim-based and whatnot. I'd have to make tools in a very different way. It's a whole different thing. But because this is a game that I work on for fun and for my own enjoyment and edification, I get to design it like a glove. And I get to experiment with potentially bad design decisions, but hey, those are my bad design decisions to make, right? That's the beauty of fun programming. And we get to do gross, disgusting things like iterating a bunch so that the for loop, the wait update cycle, the fixed update cycle actually works as it's supposed to. Anyways, guys, let me save my progress. We're gonna git status, git add all, git status again, git commit, and then we're gonna say made collision great again as well. I don't know. As well. And then we're gonna push it to Origin. I should probably add support to the Discord. Right now in the Cozy Cabin Games Discord, there's like an update thing that lets you know it shows you all the git commits I push, so you can see all the progress I do even off stream. But it's only for Messy Mansion. I should probably add it for this game engine project as well. Just so we can have these very fun, divisive commit messages. Man. Also, great choice with CLion. I love to use it myself, especially with all the features, JetBrains IDs. Yeah. No, CLion's fantastic. And I love JetBrains in general. I use Rider for C# land and everything, and then, I also use it for TypeScript stuff, even though it's not necessarily intended for it, but it actually works pretty good. But, and then I use like TeamCities for server CI, continuous integration stuff. For Crimson Crown we did it, to make sure unit tests and all this stuff works. JetBrains is fantastic, man. They make fantastic products. When I wrote my first engine in Rust, I actually just used initially just Vim. And that was fun and everything, but once you get to a certain level of complexity, you start wanting things like better IntelliSense, better refactoring abilities. And I switched to Rust Rover, and that was pretty good. But the real issue was that I used Rust. That was the real problem there. The real issue was using Rust. But yeah. Man, I'm kind of surprised we got the fixed update actually working. We have better collisions happening. I think maybe next stream, maybe not next stream, I don't know. We'll think about how we're going to do collision detection. Because there's a bunch of different data structures you can use and algorithms you can use for dealing with it. I think I want to stick to having like, I want to enforce some restrictions onto the game just for fun. Just to be like, hey, this game engine has this restriction, so let's see how creative we can get to overcome these self-imposed restrictions. Because like pixel art is the same thing like that. Like all the art you see here is pixel art, and that's an artificial restriction we put on ourselves. So it'll be cool to see how we approach working with restrictions programmatically. And then if we can get this compiled with Emscript into WebGL, I would love to see how we approach working with restrictions programmatically. And then if we can get this compiled with Emscript into WebGL, we had a bunch of different errors, man. But oh yeah, battery low. Alright guys, I appreciate everyone hanging out today. If you want to see more updates and get news about the games I'm working on, I'm probably gonna do some dev updates and streams and whatnot. Feel free to join the Cozy Cabin Games Discord. That should be in the description. There's a link there. And yeah, guys, I appreciate you guys hanging out, providing me company today, and dealing with the very inconsistent stream environment. If there's something you didn't like about today's stream, like the audio quality or whatever, let me know, and I'll see if I can try to address this in some way or fashion. But yeah, dude, it's a nice view over here, dude. It's a nice view. Before we end stream, just take a look at the view. Look at the cam only. Beautiful view out here today. So I think every Saturday I'm going to try doing a stream like this outside in the world. You know, being somewhat immersed in nature. I don't know, we'll see what we do. If there are any locations like a beach or something that you'd want me to check out, let me know. We're gonna explore, we're gonna go, we're gonna try everything, man. But this has been Park Deving with your host, Marco Flores, aka Trixelbit, aka